join us at hole 6. Once again with Dicky Stroker. He managed to get his ball onto the green after fighting a particularly violent swan.
You're quite right, Bob. That was quite a tense 20 minutes. There was a good chunk of that where my money was on the swan.
Well, to be fair, I think he'd been quid then if his caddy hadn't intervened. That was quite a surprisingly good putt from Dicky there. He's every right to look faintly pleased with himself as he moves from 52nd position down to 55th. But now we move on to hole 7.
Yep, that's hole 7, which is renowned for being an absolute piece of piss. If Dicky Stroker struggles with this one, I'm going to struggle to contain myself, if I'm honest.
The more I look at Dicky Stroker's hair, Alan, the more I find it difficult to fathom the level of midlife crisis he's having.
I'll be honest, Bob, I love the fella, but calling it midlife crisis seems a little bit optimistic. And we all remember what he did during his actual midlife crisis.
I suppose you're referring to the time that he was sitting out one part of the tournament and his jigging split open and he got his Prince Albert caught in a wicker chair.
Bob, I have been haranguing Gourmet Burger Kitchen's administrators for years for a copy of the CCTV footage of that. I will never get over the sight of him waddling around the forecourt, carrying a chair with him, and then getting attacked by swans.
I'm sure Dicky would like to send another personal thank you to the men from the airport who was able to locate the swan that had stolen the piercing. That was an absolutely terrible shot, and he knows it.
I said I'd struggle to contain myself if he didn't do well on this one, and I tell you, I can't. I mean, sentence. I'm not even. There isn't. I can't do it. The man is playing in the style of someone who is. How did he miss that pot? He's playing in the style of a man who's gripping to the roof of a disintegrating combine harvester.
I mean, this really is quite sensational play from Stroker. Not in a way that we'd normally like to say it, but you can see the man visibly going to pieces while he's lining this shot. You can almost see him crying. Oh wow, that was really quite a sensational putt again. Nevertheless, he goes from 55th down to 67th in the standings, so he's going to really struggle for hole 8.
Yeah, it's renowned for being a tricky hole, this one. You've got trees there, you've got a water, big lot of water, you've got a lot of swans. So long as he manages to avoid all those hazards, then I can't see there being any trouble. But it is Dicky Stroker, so I'm going to cross my fingers quite hard.
So Dicky's just lining his shot up now. Obviously that's the ideal spot where he'd like to be placing the ball. So it's time to draw back his club and really use those years of expertise and experience. And no, he's really stuffed that.
Oh, bloody hell, I think he's willing God into existence to see if he can just kick the ball 20 feet there. Oh, that's exactly where he doesn't want to be, is it?
Right, so yeah, Dicky's going to be trying to figure out how to get out of that one. So he's going to struggle there. I feel like if you Google the term chronic disappointment, you're just going to be left with a picture of the grizzled, careworn face of Dicky Stroker.
Listen, if I'm Googling Dicky Stroker, the only thing I want to see is the CCTV footage of him trying to ram raid a kebab van with a tuk-tuk.
Once again, Dicky raises his club to get out of dodge and fails quite badly. I don't think I've seen anybody go out of bounds during this tournament, even on this particularly devilish hole.
When I tell you that he's got to do something really spectacular to get out of this situation, I don't think I could ever understate it or overstate it enough. I'm not sure which one's which, but whichever one's the right one, he's just made it out of the trees. He should be embarrassed with himself right now, Bob.
He really needs to be able to salvage this situation quite dramatically. He needs to wheel that ball as far as it'll go, and he needs to miss the water, he needs to miss the bunker, and he needs to miss the trees, ideally. So let's see what he can do to Christ.
Well, at this point, Bob, he can only dream of being in public wearing a ripped vest and torn jeggings, tethered to a wicker chair by his todger, which is being frantically attacked by swans. He can only dream.
And once again, I'm sure Dicky would like to thank the utterly charming man from Uscotty Airport who was able to locate the swan that had eaten his Prince Albert. Meanwhile, this shot lands him on the green. He's unable to take any further shots, so you can all join Dicky in weeping visibly as he plummets down to 80th place. And now we move on to hole 9, which is par 4. And again, this looks to be a fairly simple hole. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, this one should be pretty simple. It should just be a case of giving it a few belts, knocking it up, and you should be in there like a whippet in a blancmange that's in a bed or something.
So Dicky just lining that one up there. He's been taking quite a few shots that have drifted surprisingly close to the crowd at this point. So he's lining this one up. It must be very difficult to tee up when you can barely see the ball through the tees, but Dicky's doing a remarkable job of not letting his emotions get the better of him, even in spite of, as we mentioned previously, this being the latest in a long line of divorces.
Yeah, he's he is putting a brave face on it. And to be fair to him, if I'd been in his situation and I'd been in those trees earlier, I'd have just stayed in the trees and howled like a small baby monkey.
Yeah, he's done well. He's kept the animal noises to something of a minimum. We all remember, as you say, Alan, the incident with the kebab van, and we also remember his statement to the police, which was, as mentioned by the constable during the court proceedings, loud, unintelligible whooping. So he's made his way a good chunk of the way down the green there. So he's heading off to the green, and crikey, he's actually managed to get all the way down there.
I tell you what, after everything so far, I cannot help but be surprised, but it is worth it to see that little gleam of excitement in that utterly well-used face of his. I will say though, I don't understand how he's missed that. He's had some amazing putts today, and that was terrible.
Yeah, he's had a difficult day, but let's see if he can pull himself back from 80th. I don't think he will. Let's have a look at the leaderboard there, and he is now down to 150th. I'm not sure he's going to qualify for the rest. So that's all from me.
And that's all from me.